I'm going to start right here in the program section, program controls. So you simply choose program and select your number, and that changes. And so on. So that's how you change your programs. The next thing we'll show you is how your parameters work. I'm going to choose parameter. These are all your parameters: oscillators, low frequency oscillators, filters, amplifiers, and this one is specific to this keyboard that I'll tell you about in a minute. So I'm just going to walk you through the basic features that show you that the parameter buttons work. I am on program number 10, and we will show you how to choose attack through the parameters. This is your parameter section here. And if I want to change my attack, I simply choose this parameter. And if I want a slow attack, turn it all the way up. And as you can see, it takes a long time for the attack to set in, or set it to 0, and instantly you have volume and your attack. Same thing if I were going to choose another parameter. Of course, choose my program first, choose your parameter setting. I'm going to change this to 33 because I want to work on the release, and then choose value, and we will hear the difference in release. I've put it all the way up, did the extreme so you can hear it. Slow release, fast release. So that's how you change your parameters. Now I'm going to show you the true multi and single trigger function that is most loved about this machine, because it is most like the mini Moog. Right here, parameter number 35 can set this to single monophonic mode, single triggering, or multi-triggering. The true analog sound can be created here. So we'll just choose, let's choose 42. A nice effect in our program. We choose our parameter. Parameter is 35 for this, and as you can see right now, when I play the chord, it's polyphonic and you hear the harmony. And if I change my value setting all the way up to 1, I lose that. I am now set in true monophonic mode, which was modeled after the first mini Moog. And it'll automatically invert to the lowest pitch formed. I cannot get the harmony. So now I have true analog monophonic sound. Again, if I want to change it back to the polyphonic and get my harmonies, up to 6 tracks, hence the reason we named it 6-track. Now I'm going to walk you over here to show you first the live functions. These functions can only be used in live playback setting. Pitch modulation, we'll choose program 44. It's a good one to show these. And if pitch modulation wheel works, and these can only be used in live playback setting. You cannot use these in record mode. Modulation wheel work. I'm going to change our arpeggiator work is also only for playback mode and live performance. Arpeggiator up and down will do as it says. It assigns the arpeggio from the lowest point to the highest point back down for you. So as you can hear, it is following the sequence from the lowest to the highest. Whereas assign, you decide the order that you want that arpeggio to be in. Little boogie woogie for you. And it'll take whatever arrangement that you choose. Okay, next I'm going to walk you through the sequencing, which is the delightful feature that was first come out back in 1984 when they created the Mini Moog and this machine was one of the first to have a multi-track sequencer. It actually has 2 sequencers with the capability of 6 tracks each, and those tracks can also be stacked and layered with multi-sounds using your programs and altered through your parameters. So it gives you a lot of control. We're going to start by laying down sequence A. I need to take a sign off, because as again, these are for playback only, not for live setting. So I have to unassign these. So record, sequence A automatically assigns to track 1. And I will assign something different to track 2. Something different to track 3. And of course those will be played with space between because I was talking in between, and it is analog. First sequence. Second sequence coming. Third sequence. There you go, and those are your 3 tracks. Of course I can also play those tracks and record at the same time onto another channel. And so forth. So you can just keep going with your sequences and how you layer them, either on top of one another while the other one's playing, or in a full laid out sequence. I'll show you speed because I needed to stack those to show you that feature. Okay. I can speed up my sequence, or I can release. This is actually 0. When you put this down, your sequence will not play at 0. Very slow. It's taking forever to get there. You have speed control of your sequence. Now this mode here is when I lay down a sequence. Sequence 1. And then I'm going to lay something over it. Okay, nothing fancy to listen to, but it will show you the function. Now what I do is I have these 2 tracks laid down, plus my old one that I played for you before, but these 2 are layered on top of each other so you can hear the effect. I'll play my sequence, and if I want to quiet and mix this in the volume, I can, or make it louder, or mix this track simply. Play the sequence, hold the button, makes it louder, that track, or takes that track out completely. Only this track is playing. I'm mixing it back in. I can do the same with this track, put it more in, or take it completely out. So you have a lot of flexibility there in track volume control, speed control. I've already showed you our arpeggiators. We're going to go to stack mode. Stack mode is a wonderful mode to work in. This is where you can actually layer your programs and your own creations of your programs, one on top of the other. So for stack mode, we are going to push stack, record, and I'm going to stack several sounds on into this one track here. We're going to stack them quickly. Record, track 1, program 1. When I pushed record, stack A, record 0, the light will go off, and that program is now layered into track 1. Now I will do it again. I'll stack A, record, but I'm going to change to program 4, and watch the light go off. That is now layered into track 1. I'll do the same thing repeated here, and we'll go to track 12, and those 3 sounds are now layered. So you can hear you have a much richer sound than if you just had a single program. Here's 4 again. And you can do that with any of the things you want to layer. Now the last function I'm going to show you that you see everything works is the MIDI feature. You only have your audio out, which can also be used for headphones. You have MIDI in, you have MIDI out, and right here you have a foot switch controller, which also gives you controlling functions of the keyboard that I'm not going to demonstrate today.